अपनी ब्रेन को इतना प्लेजर दिया, इतना प्लेजर दिया, इतना प्लेजर दिया.
Even though the track is filled with a different type of cheeses, different type of pleasure, but he is aligned in such a manner कि वो फंस जा रहा.
Brain will definitely come back to its ideal state. That is homeostasis. It will balance pain and pleasure.
In this age of overabundance, one loses the basic trait of humans, that's humanity.
क्या जो चीज़ हम ले रहे हैं हम उसे completely consume कर पाएंगे? So what if I told you that the very thing that makes you feel good is also making you feel miserable? That every scroll, every binge, every like, whether it's shopping, Netflix or sugar, is rewiring your brain. Welcome to Dopamine Nation, a world where pleasure and pain are the two parts of the same coin.
So did you know approximately 29.8% of individuals exhibit signs of smartphone addiction? The average person spends over 4 hours daily on their phone, totaling 28 hours a week and 1,456 hours a year. Excessive smartphone use is linked to increased risk of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and even suicidal tendency. So if you have a doubt, go back and check. Excessive usage of phone is a diagnosed disorder now named as nomophobia.
Hello all, I'm Dr. Shubhi Mag along with my colleague Mr. Shivam Pandey. And in this podcast, we explore the fascinating world of human behavior, neuroscience, and self-improvement. Dopamine and deception, how your brain lies to you.
So today we are diving into Dopamine Nation, written by Dr. Anna Lemke, a book that unpacks why we are more addicted than ever and what we can do about it.
If you have ever felt that you cannot stop checking your phone, chasing the next high, overeating, maybe another online shopping spree, or that craving for one last shot, this episode is for you.
So additionally, we'll be sharing practical tips from the book and real life stories that prove why learning to tolerate discomfort might be the secret to the happiness.
So to start with, let's unravel the cover of the book. If you see, the cover of the book is bathed in the shades of orange and yellow. The color which defines warmth and warning, fire and light, much like dopamine itself, which tells you about the much pleasure that you're seeking and the potential fallout or the burnout that follows it. So let's take an example of a Saturday. एक सैटरडे आप बहुत पार्टी करते हैं, आप बहुत इंजॉय करते हैं, अपने ब्रेन को प्लेजर से फिल कर देते हैं. Now what happens the next Sunday? It is dull, drowsy, dried out. You don't have any good feelings. You don't feel good about anything. You don't want to get out of your bed. We name it hangover. But did we ever think, why is it named so? And why do we have such feelings?
So have you ever noticed that the more we chase pleasure, the harder it is to feel satisfied? आप स्टार्ट करते हैं सीरीज के एक एपिसोड से और वो ऑल नाइट बिंज बन जाता है. एक स्क्रॉलिंग से second scrolling, third scrolling, and that becomes a clear-cut idea of just scrolling, and you are into that void wherein you are unable to think. So what once felt exciting now feels empty. So this is what we are going to find in Why Dopamine Nation, the problem of seeking never-ending pleasure.
We call these habits bad habits, but they are not just bad habits. It's neuroscience. Our brains are wired for balance. Every moment of indulgence comes with a hidden cost. The first part of Dopamine Nation unpacks a paradox that we all live with. The more we enjoy, the more we suffer. And in this world designed to keep us hooked, understanding the balance is not just useful, it is a strategy for actual survival. So now, let's talk about the real problem, not the real one.
So to start with, let's talk about overabundance. It starts with a very interesting question, that how do we live in a world wherein you get everything. Whereas in the past, where things were scarce, but enjoyments were not short term, but long term and durable. So today we are drowning into cheap dopamine hits, endless streaming, ultra processed food, 24/7 experiences of dopamine. But the result, our brains are overstimulated, making natural joys like conversation, reading, or walking a mile feeling dull in comparison.
ओवर इंडल्जेंस के एग्जाम्पल से मुझे याद आता है, आई एम अ 90s किड। तो हम लोग के टाइम पे वॉकमैन हुआ करता था, जिसमें म्यूजिक सुनने के लिए हमें कैसेट्स रिकॉर्ड करानी पड़ती थी, एंड टू रिकॉर्ड दैट कैसेट वाज इंडीड एन एक्सपेंसिव प्रोसेस। बट जब हम वो कैसेट रिकॉर्ड कराते थे, there used to be 16 songs in that cassette, and we used to enjoy every song till the time we did not have money to record another cassette, or maybe just like that. But now, when we have 90 plus million tracks on our fingertips available, we are not enjoying the momentary pleasure that music is giving us. What are we more interested in? दूसरा गाना कौन सा होगा? What will be the next song? आप ग्रुप में बैठे हैं, म्यूजिक प्ले हो रहा है, बट वी आर नॉट बजिंग ऑन द म्यूजिक. Every person is thinking about, I will play this song next, and I'm going to enjoy this song.
So, listening to this example of yours when you cited how having different streams and different music today is not helping you but confusing you. So, a lot just confused your mind. So, from this, we come to our next string of dopamine rabbit hole, that's self-deception. आपने देखा होगा ज़्यादातर कि आपके जितने फ्रेंड्स हैं आपके सर्कल में, अगर उनमें से कोई ड्रग का आदी होगा तो वो ये बोलेगा कि भगवान शिव भी यूज करते हैं तो मैं भी करता। तो यू स्टार्ट जस्टिफाइंग योर स्टैंड्स यूजिंग अ पॉइंट ऑफ रेफरेंस। तो व्हाट इट डज, इट स्टार्ट्स रीवायरिंग योर ब्रेन। आपके ब्रेन में एक पैरेलल ट्रुथ चलता है कि ये सच है, और द मोमेंट यू say to yourself, this is truth, it becomes truth for you. So to make it more clearer, let me take a reference of Krishnamurti's book, The First and Last Freedom. So Sri Krishnamurti tells about how you are clinged to your own thoughts and conditioning, and that acts as a barrier because you cannot go away from that psychological discomfort. Because understand, the moment you say that this is my truth, someone asks you कि इससे थोड़ा दूर हो जाओ, so you will feel that discomfort. So to avoid that, you believe whatever I am saying, that's the truth. So the result is, you are in a situation wherein you are driven by dopamine behaviors, and if you try to connect self-deception concept, it finds a striking parallel with the modern concept of neuroscience. So the brain driven by dopamine reinforces illusions, making it difficult to see reality as it is. So the challenge nowadays is to observe truth without distortion. What you see or perceive today as truth is just an amalgamation of your own thought where you have rewired it and presented as a distorted truth. So believe me, a distorted truth is not the one which is in actuality the truth.
Krishnamurti sir's example is indeed very, very important in order to understand the concept of self-deception. He talks about ideation, which you associate with a creation of image. What happens here is that we take an image, create that image in our mind, and then associate ourselves with that. Here I would take an example of Shri Gurmeet Singh Ram Rahim, aka MSG. He is a self-proclaimed God man. उनके हॉस्पिटल्स चलते हैं, उनके लंगर चलते हैं, उनके स्कूल्स चलते हैं, और इससे हुआ क्या, लोगों ने उनको बोलना शुरू किया कि आप तो सर भगवान हैं, आपकी वजह से मेरा बच्चा पढ़ पा रहा है, मेरे घर में खाना आ रहा है. He is basically a philanthropist and a Baba. Now what exactly happened with this? he associated with this image so much that he went on to produce a movie that was named as Messenger of God. And he proclaimed himself as a messenger of God. Now here, what did we ignore? We ignored that this particular person is a convicted rapist and a murderer by the highest authority of court in India. Along with this, there is a very interesting example of Dr. Harold Shipman. He was a doctor in the UK. He used to treat old age patients. Now, what exactly happened to him? People started calling him that you are God. You are a God-like character. You're saving us. You're treating us. He killed 250 patients of his. How? By overdosing them with morphine. He said that I am liberating you. I am liberating you from the circle of life and death. And thereby, he went on killing them. You also don't need to go that far. You must have seen that series, Asur, on Amazon. वहाँ पे उस छोटे बच्चे के दिमाग में यही चीज होती है स्टार्टिंग से कि मैं लोगों को जीवन और मृत्यु के बंधन से मुक्त कराऊंगा. And he goes on a killing spree. If you want me to go more scientific on this is nothing but a placebo effect. What is a placebo effect? You tell your brain that you are this, or tell your brain about somebody else that this person is this, and then your brain starts behaving like that, thinking on the same lines. So this is what placebo creates. And this simple and the smallest self-deception about your own self can actually make you a very, very horrific person.
So as you just mentioned about the effect of placebo. So placebo is all about reinforcing behaviors. What needs to be understood is the moment we refer to the word addiction, is it damaging our mind or not? Is an eternal question. It might end or might not. But one thing it surely does it rewires your brain. It alters your thought. And the moment it alters your thought, it creates an addiction circuit. So what happens? Even though you leave it, there will be a relapse. So how placebo affects through reinforcing behavior, in the same manner, our addiction also take place by reinforcing our habits. So what needs to be understood is when we repeatedly indulge in instant rewards, our brain's dopamine receptors down-regulate. मैं एक नॉर्मल एग्जांपल से आपको समझाता हूँ. पिज्जा का वो पहला बाइट जिससे आपको यूटिलिटी मिला, खुशी मिला, प्लेजर मिला, लेकिन 10th बाइट में आपको सेम अमाउंट ऑफ खुशी नहीं मिलती. नॉट बिकॉज द टेस्ट इज डिफरेंट, बिकॉज if the taste was different, you would have known in the first bite only. But what happens? The utility depreciates. आपको वो सेम क्रेविंग, सेम प्लेजर, सेम चीज करके नहीं मिलेगा. Your brain gets stimulated, and once it's stimulated, you don't feel the same amount of pleasure as you were feeling it before. So what you do? You crave for more. आपको कुछ उससे ज्यादा चाहिए. और ये ज्यादा की खोज में ही आदमी एडिक्शन के लूप होल में फंसता चलाता है, and is stuck in that craving.
So I think problem here is that we have a wrong definition of addiction. We usually associate addiction with substance abuse. कि वो अल्कोहलिक है, उसे इस चीज का एडिक्शन है, वो ड्रग्स करता है, उसे उस चीज का एडिक्शन है. But when you go deep into understanding addiction, addiction is about the feeling that your brain gives you after consumption of a particular product or doing something or of a particular behavior. Now, when I say that it is a feeling that your brain gives you, मैं आपको एग्जाम्पल देती हूँ. बहुत लोग हैं जो शराब पीने की रीजनिंग देते हैं कि मेरे को शराब पीनी है क्योंकि मैं बहुत एग्जॉस्टेड हूँ. तो आप देखिए, यहाँ पे लगाव या पीने का मन शराब एज अ सब्सटेंस की वजह से नहीं है, बट इन ऑर्डर टू रिलीज दैट एक्सर्शन एंड एग्जॉशन, दैट पर्सन इज एडिक्टेड टू अल्कोहल. सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल कुड हैव बीन, बहुत लोग बोलते हैं कि शराब पीने के बाद आदमी सच बोलता है. तो another reason could be people drink to be themselves so that they can freely tell who they are, free claim who they are. Even your routine can be an addiction. Now remember that coffee, आपको सुबह 9 बजे कॉफी पीने की आदत है. अब आपकी वो 9 बजे की कॉफी मिस हो जाती है. अगर वो मिस होना आपको एंगर, फ्रस्ट्रेशन, एक्सर्शन और एग्जॉशन देता है, तो वो सिर्फ एक हैबिट या रूटीन नहीं है. इट इज मोर ऑफ एडिक्शन. रूटीन इज सपोज टू गिव यू काम. रूटीन इज टू keep you in peace. But when routine starts to give you some kind of pressure, some kind of exhaustion, it is more of a addiction. Now, जब मैं बोलती हूँ कि simple habits are called as addiction, what exactly I mean? कैलकाटा में अच्छी डोनट शॉप नहीं है, तो whenever I am at Delhi airport, I tend to buy a packet or big box of donut. मैंने ये रियलाइज किया कि जैसे मैं मंडे को दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट पे थी, मैंने वो डोनट का बॉक्स खरीदा और उसके बाद कोइंसिडेंटली मैं फ्राइडे फिर दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट पे थी और मैंने फिर डोनट का बॉक्स खरीदा. हालांकि मेरे फ्रिज में डोनट्स अभी भी अवेलेबल है और आई कैन स्टिल कंज्यूम इट, बट आई स्टिल बॉट दैट पैकेट ऑफ डोनट. Maybe it was because of the fear of missing out. Maybe it was because of the demand that I want to have more or excessive or I have means. But this is not just a simple habit of buying donuts. This exactly what addiction is.
So the habit you just mentioned about having donuts and buying that packet, even if it's stored in your house, that shows us the psychology of how advertisement works. Like, let me give you a reference of a particular book which is written on the topic advertisement. So it says that advertisement is a tool to sell and not a piece of art. So what we can understand from this definition is that there is a particular market which is trying to exploit or explore your neuroscience. इस मार्केट को पता है कि क्या देख के आपका डोपामिन एस्केलेट या डिप करेगा. सो द मोमेंट यू सी द पैकेट ऑफ द डोनट, यू फील कि इसको खाने के बाद क्या इमोशन फील होगा. डेफिनेटली यू डिडंट ट्राई दैट पीस, बट द मोमेंट यू सॉ द बॉक्स, इट जनरेटेड सर्टेन इमोशंस एंड दैट इज नोन बाय अ पर्टिकुलर सेट ऑफ पीपल who are expert in those, and we refer them as the limbic capitalists. So what they do understand how your dopamine works. So they utilize the dopamine driven behaviors and hijack your mind so that they can utilize your mind and you buy what they want you to do. So now your brain is in the control of those limbic capitalists and they tell you what to buy and what not to buy.
You know, the best example of limbic capitalists are, आप जब फ्लाईओवर ले रहे होते हैं तो आप एक बड़ा सा होर्डिंग देखते हैं जहाँ पे एक बर्गर की फोटो है और जिसे चीज रूल कर रहा है. Now your brain is going to give you an instruction. You remember the taste you tasted that burger last time? Now your brain will tell you that was very rewarding. Now have it again. Have it again. Here you're not in control. You did not decide to have that burger. That capitalist hoarding paved the way and told your brain, and your brain told you कि now I want to have that burger, and that is what is called craving.
So the example which we just gave, how cheese trolling and that you see on the hoarding, why it's affecting your mind, it's very necessary to understand. Because these company who advertise understand your behavior. That ये देख के ये आदमी मेरे पास ये सामान खरीदने या खाने आएगा. So these people design their products in such a manner that even if you are not satisfied, at least you will be hooked to that.
So I think we have moved from the quality era to quantity era, right?
So definitely, because this world is full of social media scrolls, wherein you see that infinite scroll and you are in that loop. You see one notification from food companies and you feel कि मुझे खाना है. So this hunger is not created by your biology, but the understanding which the companies do have. कि अगर इस आदमी को ये मैसेज भेजेंगे कि तुमको भूख लगा है, तो योर ब्रेन टेल्स यू दैट यू आर हंग्री and at that moment you go, you buy and you have that. So definitely we are coming from that era of quality to quantity. आपको याद होगा कि हमारे समय में अगर किसी के पास 1000 रुपया हो तो वो 500 रुपया और अपने तरफ से जोड़ के आता था और वो बोलता था मैं 1500 रुपया में कुछ अच्छा सामान लूंगा. और अगर कंपेयर करें आज के सिचुएशन में, तो व्हाट वी डू इज 1000 रुपया में अगर 5 टी शर्ट मिल जाएगा अंडर 199 वाला, तो एटलीस्ट हर दिन नया तो पहनेंगे. सो वी हैव दैट अर्ज, वी हैव दैट क्रेविंग फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म डोपामिन हिट्स. हमें चाहिए वो प्रोडक्ट इवन दो वो ड्यूरेबल ना हो, बट एटलीस्ट उस समय अच्छा लगे, तो वी बाई दैट. सो वी ऑल्सो call those as impulsive buying mechanism of your brain, that the companies or the limbic capitalist utilizes your brain, explores the neuroscience and exploits your understanding. So this cycle of seeing low quality products and craving for more and more fix our brains into overconsumption. Everything under 199, instant foods, you go for that. So what we need to understand is that even though we are thinking we are making good decisions buying everything under 199, but ultimately we are just chasing the next hit.
आप लोग जब पिक्चर हॉल जाते हैं तो हम लोग पॉपकॉर्न खरीदने जाते हैं. जब हम पॉपकॉर्न खरीदते हैं तो हम उन्हें बोलते हैं कि बताइए कितने का है. वो आपको बताता है कि ये पॉपकॉर्न का टब है, ये 120 रुपीज का है, और ये इतना बड़ा वाला टब है, ये 180 रुपीज का है. अब वो बोलता है मैडम दूसरा वाला लीजिए, उसमें प्राइस से 60 रुपीज ज्यादा है पर आपको क्वांटिटी बहुत ज्यादा मिल रही है. हमें यहाँ पे ये लगता है कि हम एक स्मार्ट डिसीजन ले रहे हैं 180 वाला खरीद के, क्योंकि हमें क्वांटिटी ज्यादा मिल रही है. what exactly is happening? We are ignoring a relevant fact कि हमारे पेट की कितनी कैपेसिटी है. क्या जो चीज हम ले रहे हैं हम उसे कंप्लीटली कंज्यूम कर पाएंगे? वो 60 रुपीज का हम और कहाँ यूज कर सकते हैं और क्या खरीद सकते हैं? या मे बी ओवर ईटिंग की वजह से हमें शायद कल डॉक्टर के पास भी जाना पड़े. हम ये सारे रेलेवेंट फैक्ट इग्नोर करके 180 वाला टब खरीद लेते हैं. और 180 वाला टब मुझे लगता है हमें से बहुत लोग फिनिश भी नहीं कर पाते हैं और हम उसमें थोड़ा बहुत पॉपकॉर्न छोड़ ही देते हैं. अब आप लोग बताइए कि आप इसे कितने लोग वो 180 वाला टब लेते हैं और उसे फिनिश नहीं कर पाते हैं, नीचे कमेंट बॉक्स में जाके.
So with this example of yours, we understand that there is a problem. The problem is uncontrolled dopamine-driven behaviors. And the moment we understand what is the problem, we need to find the solution as well. So how do we do that? We do by understanding the neuroscience of the brain, how the brain functions or works, which is at the core of these issues.
So, for that, we need to explore the pleasure and pain seesaw. In 1970, social scientists Richard Solomon and John Corbett called this reciprocal relationship between pain and pleasure as a occurrent process theory. See, whenever we indulge into excess, our brain tries to compensate it with maybe pain, maybe a little fallout. The brain naturally balances pain and pleasure. Now you remember how Mondays have become those blue Mondays. वो मेम आप लोग को याद होगा जिसने अरे यार मैं तो बस 1 घंटा सोया और सैटरडे संडे खत्म हो गया. तो आपने वो सैटरडे संडे अपने ब्रेन को इतना प्लेजर दिया, इतना प्लेजर दिया, इतना प्लेजर दिया कि अब आपको मंडे टू फ्राइडे जो आपकी जेन्युइन लाइफ साइकिल है, इट इज 5 days दैट यू आर मिसिंग आउट ऑन. आपको वो 5 दिन में कोई मजा नहीं आ रहा है, आपको वो मोनोटोनस लग रही है, आपको ना वॉक में मजा आता है ना गाने सुनने में मजा आता है. व्हाट आर यू वेटिंग फॉर? यू आर वेटिंग फॉर next Saturday and Sunday. Now I want to have that same dopamine rush again. So that is how we have made that imbalance in our system ourselves.
So the example which you just gave about how blue Mondays are the resultant of these overstimulated Saturdays and Sundays. So there is a peculiar thing which needs to be understood. With repeated exposure to the same or similar pleasure stimulus, pleasure gets weaker. होता क्या है, एक सेल के बारे में भी समझे, एक सेल को अगर हम बहुत ज्यादा यूज करते हैं तो वो डेड हो जाता है. सेम तरह से अगर एक ही प्लेजर हम बार बार सीख करें तो वो जो रिस्पॉन्स टू स्टिमुली वाला फंक्शन है वो वीक हो जाता है. सो इट बिकम्स डेड. इन द सेम मैनर, when you talk about those Saturdays and Sundays, you become tolerant because of overutilization of those Saturdays and Sundays. And from Monday to Friday, your brain feels कि मजा नहीं आ रहा. क्यों? क्योंकि आपने Saturday, Sunday overutilize कर लिया है. So there is a scientific term to make us understand how it works. It's known as neuroadaptation. So the moment you feel a pleasure and you keep on feeling the same pleasure, the body becomes adaptive to that motion. So the next time when he is doing the same activity or ingesting the same substance, the same reaction might not be there. For example, imagine a child whose mother is saying कि बच्चे आप आधा घंटा या 1 घंटे के लिए पढ़ लो, फिर आप 15 से 20 मिनट के लिए टीवी देख लेना. Initially, it looks easier, good, because at least you will be able to study for that 1 hour. But after some time, he becomes tolerant to that. उसको वो आधे घंटे में मजा नहीं आने लगता. अब वो क्या करेगा? He will crave for more, and that half an hour will convert to 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours. So what is this? This is a cycle wherein you try to fulfill that craving and you are stuck in that. So the bottom line is, even if you believe that with more pleasure comes more pleasure or greater pleasure, it's not same, because with more pleasure comes more pain as well. Example मैं देता हूँ. एक नॉर्मल सा एग्जाम्पल क्रेडिट कार्ड्स का. एक आदमी का लिमिट अगर 1 लाख का है एक मंथ का, उस समय उसको प्लेजर फील करना है तो वो स्वाइप उस समय कर लिया फर्स्ट मंथ 1 लाख का. लेकिन नेक्स्ट मंथ से जो वो EMI विद इंटरेस्ट पे करेगा उसको वो कैसे बैलेंस करेगा? सो इवन दो वी फील दैट प्लेजर फील कर रहे हैं, प्लेजर से और अच्छा लगेगा और स्टिमुलस मिलेगा, बट वी आर स्टक इन दैट लूप होल wherein we live in an unlimited dopamine era, yet we are anxious and depressed. With this, we understand that overabundance is not making our lives better. It's actually taking us wherein we feel that we are now. So we lived in an era wherein we used to enjoy Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb, and we have traversed or traveled to that era wherein the craving for more and more, you are actually comfortably numb and you don't even care.
So now we need to know, how do we help ourselves from not being numb? And in order to reclaim that happiness, we need to understand the hidden cost of modern indulgence. And thereby reset our reward system. So for that, we need to understand the master who is doing all this. That is your brain. And now you understand the science of your brain. So now we look into dopamine, homeostasis, and self-binding.
So let us start with the primary concept which you just mentioned, that's dopamine. So how dopamine works? Let us start with the initial definition that dopamine is a reward transmitter that plays a crucial role in reinforcing behaviors. So let me provide a clear sketch so that you can connect. There was a person named as Bentham who was a jurist. So what he did, he created a calculation, or what we call as calculus. He called it as philosophic calculus. So what it did, the primary purpose was to calculate the amount of pleasure which it might generate before doing that activity. आप समझो या इमेजिन करो एक ऐसा सिचुएशन जिसमें आपको पता हो कि आप जो अगला एक्टिविटी करने वाले हो उसमें आपको किस अमाउंट का प्लेजर मिलेगा, किस अमाउंट ऑफ पेन मिलेगा. तो आप उसमें कंपेयर कर लोगे कि पेन अगर ज़्यादा होगा तो मैं प्लेजर ही चूज करूंगा, या प्लेजर ज्यादा होगा तो पेन चूज करूंगा। तो आप इसमें कैलकुलेट कर लोगे कि अगर उसमें प्लेजर ज्यादा हो रहा है तो आप वो करोगे, और अगर उसमें पेन ज्यादा हो रहा है तो आप उसको इग्नोर कर दोगे। सो इन दैट सिचुएशन, इफ वी ट्राई टू keep a parallel understanding with philosophic calculus and dopamine, so we understand that the purpose is same, to have or to maximize happiness and pleasure, but the system is different. How system is different? philosophic calculus में pleasure आप पहले ही calculate कर लेते हैं, पर dopamine में क्या होता है? डोपामिन में इंस्टेंट होता है। द मोमेंट यू डू अ पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी यू फील दैट यू आर हाई और यू आर लो। एग्जाम्पल आप लेंगे, एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल, वी डू अंडरस्टैंड दैट देयर इज अ डोपामिन बेस लाइन। इसके ऊपर जाएगा डोपामिन कोई भी एक्टिविटी करने के बाद, या उसके नीचे आएगा। सो द मोमेंट यू इंजेस्ट और टेक अ चॉकलेट, इट इंक्रीजेस more than 50% from your dopamine baseline. So what it proves? It proves that we are maximizing our happiness through the activity which we are doing via the modus of dopamine. So this is how dopamine works. So let me make it more easier to understand how dopamine works. Whenever you experience something pleasurable like eating, socializing, or social media, your brain releases dopamine telling that you are enjoying that particular moment. So dopamine tells your brain, since you are enjoying, do it again. Even though your biology is not understanding that, but your brain is sending the signals and you do accordingly. So the worst part is that even though we are craving for more and more pleasure, but the more we engage in these high dopamine activities or substances, the more we crave them, and we are stuck in that cycle or loophole.
Have you ever paid attention कि आपके जो वो रील्स होते हैं उनमें प्ले का ऑप्शन क्यों होता है कि यू कैन सी हाउ मेनी नंबर ऑफ प्लेज आर देयर? उसके पीछे एक रीजनिंग है। वी सीक वैलिडेशन फ्रॉम आउटसाइड। जब हम देखते हैं कि ओ माई रील्स गॉट 1500 प्ले, नाउ देयर इज दिस डोपामिन रश इन माई ब्रेन एंड आई एम थिंकिंग अबाउट कि आई एम डूइंग समथिंग गुड। जब बच्चा छोटा होता है और आप उससे पूछते हैं कि बड़े होके क्या बनना चाहते हो, तो बेटा बोलता है मम्मी बड़े होके बड़ा आदमी बनूंगा। तो वो बड़ा आदमी होता है ना, उसे हम यूजुअली एसोसिएट करते हैं किस चीज के साथ? कि ज्यादा लोग हमें जाने, हमारा सोसाइटी में ज्यादा नाम हो। और वही एसोसिएशन को लेके अब हम सोशल मीडिया के इस लूपहोल में, इस एडिक्शन में फंस चुके हैं। We are craving more validation. We are craving more number of plays. We are craving more number of likes. And this is a loophole we are now addicted with or addicted in.
So you just gave the example how we crave and move towards greater pleasures. But even if we are moving towards bigger pleasure or greater pleasures, what needs to be understood is the moment you feel pleasure, the same amount of pain will be felt. How? Herein comes the best player of the mind. That's the concept of homeostasis, the brain's balancing act. तो आपको समझना ये होगा, ये इमेजिन ये कीजिए कि एक सीसॉ है जिसमें एक साइड पेन है और एक साइड प्लेजर है. So the amount of value which you extract from the pleasure side is remaining on the pleasure side definitely, but pain dips down. So in that situation, what happens? The brain itself keeps a value in the pain side. So with this, we understand कि आपको अगर ये लग रहा है कि प्लेजर मैं बहुत यूज कर रहा हूं तो सिर्फ प्लेजर साइड ही ऊपर जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं है. पेन साइड नीचे आ रहा है क्योंकि ब्रेन सिटिंग एट द फल्क्रम वो बैलेंस कर रहा है. सेम वैल्यू वो पेन साइड में भी दे रहा है बिकॉज brain has a habit to maintain balance and it balances through the process of homeostasis. So when you think that you have a merry-go life enjoying the pleasure, beware. The brain is planning and will keep a check why the pain balancing your pleasure.
Now I think our audience can very well relate to the initial example of a Saturday that I gave at the start of this podcast. कि आप क्या करते हैं, आप सैटरडे को प्लेजर से वो होम्योस्टेसिस के बैलेंस को बढ़ते जाते। नाउ द ब्रेन विल डेफिनेटली कम बैक टू इट्स आइडियल स्टेट, दैट इज होम्योस्टेसिस. इट विल बैलेंस पेन एंड प्लेजर. तो अब वो संडे को क्या करेगा, वो उसमें पेन के ग्रैन्यूल्स बढ़ता जाएगा जब तक वो दोनों इक्विवेलेंट पे नहीं आ जाते. और ये रीजन है कि आप जब एक टाइम पे इतना प्लेजर और इतनी खुशी इंजॉय कर लेते हैं सैटरडे को, आपका संडे जिसको आप हैंगओवर बोलते हैं, वो आपको वो सारी फीलिंग्स देता है. फीलिंग ऑफ बीइंग डोज्ड आउट, ड्राइड आउट, ड्राउजी, don't want to get up from the bed, don't want to feel anything, have feeling of left out, bad memories. आपको याद आता है कि आपने कौन कौन सी चीजें ऐसी की हैं जो embarrassing थी.
So I believe with these series of discussion, at least we can come to a common conclusion that the brain would compensate every act of pleasure with pain. आपको याद होगा पहले समय में क्या होता था कि पेरेंट लोग पेरेंटल कंट्रोल या चाइल्ड लॉक लगा के रखते थे टीवीज में. क्यों लगाते थे वो? क्योंकि उन्हें पता था कि एक सर्टेन एज के लिए ये पर्टिकुलर रिस्ट्रिक्शन बहुत जरूरी है. एक सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ वायलेंस से ज्यादा उनके ब्रेन के लिए ठीक नहीं है. इन द सेम मैनर वी ट्राई टू एम्प्लॉय द कंसेप्ट ऑफ सेल्फ बाइंडिंग एंड दैट इज हाउ इट सेट्स अस फ्री फ्रॉम दिस लूप ऑफ डोपामिन. हम ज्यादा प्लेजर के क्रेविंग में फंस ना जाएं, इसलिए आता है सेल्फ बाइंडिंग एज ए प्रोटेक्टर. सो व्हाट इज दिस? A normal concept which allows you to set intentional limits on the use which you might have. आप नॉर्मली समझिए कि आपको पता है इंस्टाग्राम आपका सबसे ज्यादा टाइम यूज करेगा, एक पर्टिकुलर रील आपका सबसे ज्यादा टाइम यूज करेगा. तो आपने ये बिहेवियर, अपना बिहेवियर समझ लिया. सो व्हाट यू डू इज you try to categorize those. So to make you understand in a better way, let me divide this understanding of cell binding into 3 different parts. So the first part is physical cell binding, the second one is chronological cell binding, and the third one is categorical cell binding. तो पहले वाले physical cell binding में क्या होता है, हमें जब ये पता है कि हम काम कर रहे हैं, बीच में मोबाइल में कोई भी नोटिफिकेशन आएगा, हम डिस्टर्ब हो जाएंगे और शायद उसी को फिर से यूज करने लगेंगे. सो वी अंडरस्टैंड आवर बिहेवियर. सो व्हाट वी डू, वी कीप दैट फोन आउटसाइड आवर रूम so that once we are done with our important work, then we can use it. The second after physical cell binding is chronological cell binding. आपको पता होगा कि आपके फोन में एक स्क्रीन टाइमर होता है जो हमें ये बताता है कि इंस्टाग्राम में आपने कितना टाइम यूज किया, लिंक्डइन में कितना टाइम यूटिलाइज किया, यूट्यूब में कितना टाइम यूटिलाइज किया. सो यू नो that a particular activity is taking this much time of yours. So when you cannot stop that, you put a timer कि मैं half an hour से ज़्यादा Instagram use नहीं करूँगा या half an hour से ज़्यादा मैं LinkedIn use नहीं करूँगा. So what you do, you are not trying to directly exclude those dopamine driven behaviors, but try to control those at least. The third one which follows is categorical cell binding. So we do understand that there is a category of behavior or substances which are very high in dopamine and which we normally cannot control. So we directly need to eliminate them. Example, nicotine 150% dopamine upwards लेके जाता है आपका baseline से. तो आपको ये पता है कि ये मेरे body को इस तरह से harm करेगा. तो what you do, you're in this situation you do not try to control. What you do, you just directly dispel that I will not use it because it's hampering my mind and my body. So these are certain categories through which we understand our nature of working and we try to keep a check on those to utilize our mind and upgrade our well-being.
Chronological self binding का एग्जाम्पल हमारी स्क्रिप्चर्स में भी दिया गया है. हमारे वेदास 4 फेजेस बताते हैं लाइफ के, ब्रह्मचार्य, गृहस्थ, वानप्रस्थ और संन्यास. ब्रह्मचार्य आपको बोलता है यू प्रैक्टिस सेलिबेसी. गृहस्थ आपको बोलता है कि आप बाकी सारी चीजों से अपने आप को बाइंड कीजिए, आउटसाइड लाइफ से, एंड पे अटेंशन टू योर फैमिली लाइफ। वानप्रस्थ आपको बोलता है कि आप जंगल में जाइए, आप तपस्या कीजिए, आप अपने आप को फैमिली से भी थोड़ा बाइंड कीजिए। और संन्यास आपको सिखाता है कि आप सबको छोड़ के भगवान के रास्ते पे चलिए। सो सेल्फ बाइंडिंग इज नॉट अ न्यू कॉन्सेप्ट, मे बी वी जस्ट हैव फॉरगॉट द concept. Now, to my understanding, I can understand one thing, that dopamine is not the enemy. Dopamine is not the problem. Actually, it is modern life that floods us with unnatural and excessive amount of dopamine that causes desensitization, compulsive behavior, anxiety and depression. So, in order to help ourselves, we need to practice self-binding. Why do we need to practice self-binding? To enjoy the simple pleasures again. Those evening walks, sunset, drawing, painting. It also helps you reduce anxiety, depression, compulsive behaviors. And also connect with the real life experiences rather than the real life experiences, which are the product of continuous stimulations.
So this example of continuous stimulation and how it works, how self-binding needs to be understood. Let me give you a real life example of 2018. So what happened in Arizona, United States of America, that there was a car which was functioning in a self-driving mode. What is self-driving mode? In which the driver doesn't drive, it itself has a cognition, and based upon that, it tries to run the car. So we do understand that it's working on the machine's cognition. So what it did, it killed a person who was walking on the pathway. So आप imagine कीजिए कार का वो सिचुएशन जिसमें आपका ड्राइवर सो जाता है. अगर ड्राइवर सो जाए तो आपको डेफिनेटली प्रॉब्लम होगा. प्रॉब्लम क्या होगा वो बात की बात है, लेकिन ईदर पेन और डेथ कुछ भी हो सकता है. So why I am giving this example to you? Because your intelligence is just like your driver. If you are not controlling that, it might corrupt your well-being. आप में से कितने लोग होंगे जिनको ये आदत होगा, और मुझे लगता है मैक्सिमम का ये आदत होगा कि सुबह जब सबसे पहले आप लोग अपने फ़ोन का नोटिफिकेशन ही चेक करते होंगे. इवन दो यू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपका ब्रेन का मेलेटोनिन डिप्रिशिएट हो जाता है सोने के 1 घंटा पहले फ़ोन यूज़ करने पे, फिर भी आप अपने फ़ोन के नोटिफिकेशन चेक करते हो. इसका मतलब क्या है कि even though you are aware about the effect of those, you are attached to that, and that habit, that cycle becomes addictive. So there are certain takeaways which we can gather from these series of discussion, and the first one is that if you do not bind yourself, dopamine will bind us. आप इमेजिन कीजिए एक ऐसा सिचुएशन जिसमें ब्रेन आपको चला रहा है, ना कि आप ब्रेन को चला रहे हैं. It will be a drastic one. So by creating these intentional limits, we are not saying कि आप उन चीजों से अपना एक्सेस दूर कर दें. We are just saying that these limits will allow you to understand how your brain works and how you can have a control over your dopamine driven behaviors. So let me take an example of Johann Hari's book Stolen Focus, which talks about how these days people are stuck in the habit of reels and other, wherein they have lost their focus. अब होता क्या है, आप आदी हैं 20 सेकंड के स्क्रॉल को देखने के लिए. 20 सेकंड को देखते देखते कब 1 घंटा बन जाता है आपको पता नहीं. बट व्हाट इट डज इज कि फिर आपको 1 घंटा चीजें लगातार देखने की आदत नहीं रहती. आपका कंसंट्रेशन जा चुका है. यू फील एंग्शियस. You don't feel that you have a level of concentration. So, in that, self-binding plays a very vital role. If you do not bind at this juncture, believe me, dopamine is going to bind you. So, when your yoga teacher or meditation guru tells you that you should concentrate, it's not because they just want to build your concentration, but also that they want to rewire your brain wherein you are commanding your brain, not vice versa.
Now, how cell binding actually works, what it exactly does to your brain. Here, I must mention that this book went on to become the bestseller. There is a reason behind it. And that is, this book is not just telling you about the problem or the diagnosis that this is the disease and you're suffering from this. This book also tells you about the prognosis, that is the remedy or the solution of this problem. Now we know that our brains have a neurotransmitter that seeks to balance pain and pleasure. Now we also know that how pleasure feels. But what we don't know is that how inducing pain will change our brains. अब आप एग्जाम्पल लीजिए, जब आप जिम जाना शुरू करते हैं, आप पहले दिन जिम जाते हैं, आपको बहुत टायरिंग फील होता है, आपकी बॉडी में पेन होता है, आप नेक्स्ट डे उठते हैं, योर होल बॉडी इज पेनिंग एंड यू डोंट वांट टू गो टू जिम अगेन. नाउ थिंक अबाउट अ फीलिंग, आपको 1 महीना हो चुका है जिम जाते हुए, और 1 महीने बाद कोई आपको बोलते है यार आज जिम मिस कर देते हैं, चलो मूवी देखने चलते हैं. And you say, no, I don't want to miss my gym. Because my gym helps me release that exertion and I want to go to gym. And after that, we go for a movie. So that is how pain has changed you. That is how pain has given you his share or its share of pleasure. आप एक्सरसाइज का एग्जाम्पल लीजिए, आप स्की का एग्जाम्पल लीजिए, आप ट्रैकिंग का एग्जाम्पल लीजिए. आदमी पहाड़ चढ़ के जाता है, इतनी मेहनत करता है, बट दे स्टिल कॉल दैट एक्सपीरियंस वेरी जॉयस इन नेचर, एंड देयर इज दिस रीजन बिहाइंड दिस. सो नाउ हाउ एग्जैक्टली द पेन चेंजेस योर ब्रेन. Dr. Anna Lemke mentions a counterintuitive but a very powerful idea. She says that the pursuit of pain can be a solution for our problem of overindulgence. Instead of constantly chasing pleasure, we should accommodate or endure little bit of discomfort or little bit of pain, not to make ourselves uncomfortable, but in order to not to suffer and restore that balance, restore that homeostasis. Now you remember the example of homeostasis कि आपका एक ये बैलेंस है, आप इसमें प्लेजर डालेंगे, पेन इंक्रीज करेगा, ब्रेन ऑटोमेटिकली. आप जब पेन वाले में पेन डालेंगे तो द ब्रेन विल प्ले अ रिवर्स साइकोसिस, और वो धीरे 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 करके आपका प्लेजर इंक्रीज करेगा. एंड दैट इज हाउ you are going to hack your brain and generate that natural dopamine levels in your brain. The key idea here is, if too much of pleasure leads to pain, then too much of pain would also lead to long term of pleasure. अब आपको याद होगा कोल्ड बाथ्स या आइस बाथ्स बहुत फेमस हो गए थे आपके लॉकडाउन के समय पे और उसके बाद भी. What was the reason behind that? The same theory. लॉकडाउन में हम सब बहुत परेशान थे, हम लोग के दिमाग में अलग अलग किस्म की प्रॉब्लम्स थी, तो वो आइस बात हम लोगों को वो पेन देके हमारा प्लेजर नेचुरली इंक्रीज करता था. Now there is this very brilliant example given by Dr. Anna Lemke in her book about one of her patients, Michael. He was a cocaine addict, and what he exactly did, he started taking a cold temperature baths in order to fight his addiction of cocaine. So that is how he saved himself from cocaine. तो अब आप इसमें एक्सरसाइज का एग्जाम्पल लीजिए, कोल्ड शावर बाथ का एग्जाम्पल लीजिए. फॉर दैट इंस्टेंस यू कैन ऑल्सो टेक एग्जाम्पल ऑफ फास्टिंग. फास्टिंग आपकी बॉडी को कैसे बदलता है? आप रिलीजियस पर्पज से कीजिए या किसी और रीजनिंग से कीजिए. आप फास्ट रखते हैं, आप एक टाइम खाना खाते हैं, उसके बाद बोलता है ना कि अरे बहुत अच्छी नींद आई, खाना खाने के बाद आई फेल्ट वेरी हैप्पी, आई फेल्ट वेरी लाइट, अब से मैं एक ही टाइम खाना खाऊंगा. ये कैसे होता है? व्हेन यू गिव योर बॉडी दैट पेन ऑफ हंगर, your body provides you with a natural pleasure of having a good sleep. And that is how it works.
So I believe the example which you just gave about how fasting rewires your brain and how it's important, you can find this practice in all the cultures. ये बहुत कॉमन है सारे कल्चर में, आप देखोगे या तो रिचुअलिस्टिक प्रैक्टिस के लिए और इवन बॉडी के टॉक्सिन्स को बॉडी से बाहर निकालने के लिए भी यूज किया जाता है. इन द सेम मैनर देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट ऑफ डोपामीन फास्टिंग. So one understands that this is a particular substance which is affecting me differently, and this I need to avoid if I want to save my well-being. Example, आप Instagram के आदी हो गए, आप Facebook के आदी हो गए, आप किसी भी सब्सटेंस से एडिक्टेड हो गए, आप क्या करोगे? उस पर्टिकुलर सब्सटेंस को अपने से दूर करोगे. So you fast, and the purpose is not to make it inaccessible, but to keep a check on your own well-being. शुरुआत में आपको ये प्रॉब्लम होगा, एक बार एक आदत डेवलप हो जाए तो उसको छोड़ने में दिक्कतें आती हैं, लेकिन 5 से 6 दिन के बाद फिर वो नॉर्मलाइज होगा. वो 5 दिन शायद आपको डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी सब कुछ फील करना पड़े, बट बिलीव मी, आफ्टर दैट यू विल स्टार्ट टेकिंग कंट्रोल. सो दिस टेकिंग कंट्रोल allows your brain to reset. This will allow it to recalibrate. So after certain days, you will not need that hit or that bigger pleasure to feel optimum pleasure of the same kind. एक और एग्जाम्पल आता है फिजिकल चैलेंज का, आपने जो जस्ट एग्जाम्पल दिया था कोल्ड शावर्स का. So even though the moment you take cold showers, you might feel discomfort, but believe me, it works differently in your physiology and your mind. So pushing through controlled level of pain, be it exercise, cold exposure, increases your baseline dopamine levels. And one more thing is very important, that is emotional discomfort. आपने सुना होगा कि मुझे ये गलती मानने में दिक्कत होती है, या मैं कैसे मानूं कि मैं झूठा हूं. उन सारे सिचुएशन में अगर आप वो डिस्कम्फर्ट झेलने के बाद भी अगर आप उससे पास थ्रू होते हैं, तो दैट विल अलाउ यू टू अपग्रेड योर ओन लाइफस्टाइल, योर ओन माइंडसेट. सो आफ्टर दिस वन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट कम्स इनटू प्ले, दैट्स रैडिकल ऑनेस्टी. आपने सुना होगा, लोग बोलते हैं कि ऑनेस्टी इज द बेस्ट पॉलिसी. हम ये बचपन से सुनते हुए आए हैं, बट इवन दो you know about it, you do not follow. Why? Because you believe that the moment you become honest, people will exploit you. So it's not about people exploiting you or not exploiting. It's about the moment you lie, it even though creates short-term reliefs, but over time it reinforces unhealthy behavior. So take truth as a painful detox. It will allow you to upgrade your well-being, and you will come into a stature wherein you can say that I'm in control of my life.
You're absolutely correct, but I think this is the only lesson we have missed when we read moral science, that honesty is the best policy. See, radical honesty is very important. And the classic example to see radical honesty, go to any rehabilitation center or a support group. There you don't introduce yourself as, hi, I am Dr. Shubhi Mack or I am Mr. Shivam Pandey. You introduce yourself as, hi, I am an addict. And when you take that step and when you say that I am an addict, you are keeping the core fault of yours on the table and saying that, yes, this is my fault, here I am wrong and I am accepting it. So what exactly it is doing with you? It is building a psychological barrier which gives way to pro-social shame. And hereby you're more comfortable discussing about your flaws, you're accepting it, आप बोल दे रहे हैं, मेरे ये flaws हैं, मेरे अंदर ये कमियां हैं, हाँ मैंने ये गलत किया है और मैं उसकी पूरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेता हूँ. तो इससे क्या होगा, एक साइकोलॉजिकल स्ट्रेंथ क्रिएट होगी. अब with this, you will snatch away the opportunity from others to talk behind your back or talk about you, which you won't like in a longer run. So radical honesty, I think, is must to be practiced for self growth, for self inclination, in order to help yourself and to know what exactly you are, where you're going wrong, and how you need to improve yourself.
आपने जो अभी एग्जाम्पल दिया प्रो सोशल शेम का, मुझे लगता है कि लोग उससे कोसों दूर हैं. Why? Because people cannot imagine that you are in a society wherein people might be there who will take your guilt as it is. आपको ये लगता है कि दुनिया में सारे लोग खराब हैं, आप अगर अपना गिल्ट मानोगे तो कोई भी आपको सही ढंग से नहीं मानेगा. बट बिलीव मी, इन देयर इज बैड देयर इज गुड. सो यूटिलाइज दैट. Go in such a society wherein you can be free about your feelings, about your mistakes. Because as Dr. Anna mentions, that if you utilize your mistakes or shame in a better manner, it can lead to a better way of life. Understand that if you are in a good company, it encourages connection and keeps you away from isolation. It motivates personal growth rather than reinforcing bad habits. So, as you mentioned about the rehabilitation centers, I believe these are those classic examples which acts as a bedrock when we talk about pro-social shame.
Absolutely correct. But I think the problem here is that we as a society, we are more involved in destructive shame rather than pro-social shame. Now, what is destructive shame? When someone admits their failures, their faults in front of you, what do? We say that, oh my God, you're suffering from this. Oh my God, you're failed like this. उनका बच्चा तो हो गया था, उसने तो कर लिया था. More than giving that person a space to accept their faults, we are going into criticism. More than empathy, we are going into sympathy. So instead of sympathizing, we need to be more empathetic towards someone who is opening up about their faults in front of you. What you need to do is that get into their shoes, understand their position, and then empathize with them rather than showing them sympathy, which is not going to work for a very long period of time. So now, when I tell you that radical honesty is important, I really want to tell you, when people are okay to talk about their faults with you, they are going to make bonds which will go for a very long run. So that is the reason you see जो friendships support group में होती हैं, they are lifelong friendships, because वहाँ किसी से कुछ छुपाया हुआ नहीं है. ये कमियां मेरे अंदर है and I'm ready to accept it. And that is the reason for long-term connections. So instead of taking out time and talking behind each other's back about each other's fault, think that we are human, we are bound to be imperfect.
So let me take an example. मैं जब भी क्लास लेता हूँ तो बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग होते हैं या स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं जिनको लगता है कि वो पेन फील कर रहे हैं, स्ट्रेस फील कर रहे हैं, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट लिटिल बिट ऑफ पेन, बिकॉज they are practicing and failing in their mocks, they believe कि they are depressed. One thing you need to understand, that little bit of pain or stress is not depression, and it's very much important to upgrade your personality. Let me take an example which is written in Gita, wherein Bhagwan Shri Krishna tells us about a situation wherein Arjun and Krishna are talking about how to face pain and discomfort. He says, Travyam masma gama partha natat tavya upapadyate shudram hridaya daurbalyam tvaktavotistha parantapa. That gives a clear translation that you do not need to yield to unmanliness. O Parth, it does not befit you or your personality. So give this petty weakness of yours your heart and arise. So this is a general takeaway or understanding that the moment you face fear, and weakness, you should just run away and you are free. But believe me, if you run, you will be stuck in that loop of escaping and you will think that you can escape and be free. So I can connect this with Nietzsche's saying, wherein he says that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
So here, I remember one example. There was this person in my family who was suffering from acute clinical depression. So that person came to my mother और उन्होंने मेरी मम्मा को बताया कि मेरे को डिप्रेशन है, डायग्नोस्ड है और डॉक्टर ने बोला है मेडिकेशन करने से 1 महीना या 1.5 महीने में ये क्योर हो जाएगा. बट देन दैट पर्सन मेंशन कि बस किसी भी तरीके से ये फेज पास हो जाए, किसी भी तरीके से ये खत्म हो जाए. एंड टिल डेट आई रिमेंबर माई मदर्स आंसर. शी क्लियरली सेड कि इफ यू रियली वांट इट टू पास, go right through it. And I think here is where we all are going wrong. जब भी we are coming in contact with pain, we are taking a bypass. Pleasure हमें सारे सीख करने हैं. जब pleasure मिल जाए सीख कर लेते हैं. But जहाँ पे pain की बात आती है, we take a bypass. But we do not understand that our society is based on balance. हमारे तो फेस्टिवल्स भी गुड और ईविल के बैलेंस में है. तो हम ये कैसे भूल सकते हैं कि अगर कुछ अच्छा है तो कुछ बुरा भी होगा. सो हियर वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर सुख की चाह है तो दुख भी सहना है. एंड दैट्स द हैक विद विच वी कैन कीप द कंट्रोल और गेट द कंट्रोल ऑफ आवर ग्रेन्स बैक.
So before we attempt to conclude this session, let me tell you about a very interesting personality. That's Azar Askin. So you might not have heard about Azar Askin, but trust me, he has already influenced your life. In fact, he is probably going to affect how you spend your time today, whether you scroll through Instagram or you look towards anything which requires scrolling. He was the one who discovered infinite scroll. So to understand him better, it's important to know where he got his thought. Azar Ruskin's father was Jeff Ruskin. Jeff Ruskin was the one person who developed Macintosh for Steve Jobs. It was that time wherein it was felt that a user's attention was sacred. हमें ये लगता था कि एक आदमी का attention किसी ही चीज में जा रहा है तो you should treat it religiously, उसको उतना महत्व देना चाहिए. But we are in that era wherein we just waste our users' time and you are not bothered or one is not bothered. So even though this person Jeff Ruskin developed infinite scroll which affects you, today he believes that something wrong has been done in the society. Why? Because the focus has been stolen. Today, he asks a very vital question, like, is technology helping you reach your goals or is it quickly steering your focus somewhere else? So these are certain vital questions which needs to be understood, that even though a person who is a technologist, who understand technology and had a purpose while creating those, what he did? He understood that the sanctity is not maintained. His tool is being utilized in different manner. Tool क्या था? म्यूजिक क्यों होता है? आपके दिमाग को शांत करने के लिए, अगर वो दिमाग में अशांति पैदा करने लगे तब. बुक्स क्यों होते हैं? ताकि आपका ब्रेन अच्छा हो, अपग्रेड हो, अगर वो आपका दिमाग को भ्रष्ट करने लगे. एक पब्लिक फोरम क्यों होता है? ताकि आप ये सोच सके एक आदमी दूसरे आदमी को गाली दे रहा है. नहीं. It serves a purpose and he understood that. So believe me, everything has a purpose, be it a book, music or a public forum. You cannot just misutilize the public forum to say anything what you want to say. You are in that era wherein you believe that whatever you will say is truth. You write books which are not necessary. You are listening to those music which are serving no purpose. So in contrast to that situation wherein technology was taken as sacred or user experiences were sacred, we are misutilizing those. So we understand that how this constant search for pleasure is making us empty. We are craving for more and more. हमें आज कोई भी म्यूजिक सुना देगा, उसका ध्वनि से कोई मतलब नहीं है. आज पब्लिक फोरम में एक दूसरे को लोग गाली दे रहे हैं, आप सुनने को तैयार है. So it shows us what we are, because there is a very clear understanding. What you hear, what you do is what you are. So with these habits and with these behaviors, we understand how dopamine works and how our brains are regulated.
So with this, we come towards the end of our podcast. And we would like to take this opportunity to tell you all about the major learnings that we had from this book. So to start with, the first learning that we had was we as a human society are losing the sense of long-term gratification. What do I mean when I say that we are losing a sense for long-term gratification? हम लोग अपनी लाइफ के लिए शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स को सेट कर लिए हैं और हमको हमारी सारी खुशी उन्हीं शॉर्ट टर्म गोल से मिलती है. वी आर नॉट लुकिंग एट अ लॉन्ग टर्म पिक्चर. इसके लिए एक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं. आपने देखा होगी अभी लास्ट आपके महाराष्ट्र में इलेक्शंस निकले हैं, फिर आपके दिल्ली में इलेक्शंस हुए. आपने देखा होगा ऑल द गवर्नमेंट पार्टीज, ऑल द पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज वर सेलिंग फ्रीबीज. ऑल द पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज कि 2500 रुपये हर महिला के अकाउंट में आएगा, आपको हम इतना 15 किलो का राशन फ्री देंगे. None of us are asking our government for employment opportunities. None of us are asking our government for good roads, good infrastructure, good railways. But we are asking them for what? Give us 2,500 rupees in our account. Give us freebies. So we just have made ourselves so accustomed to small or short-term gratification that we are not looking at a bigger picture. आपका मूड खराब है, चलो शॉपिंग कर लेते हैं. अरे हफ्ते भर बहुत काम किया, वीकेंड एक शॉर्ट एस्केप ले लेते हैं. द बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल, यू वांट टू लूज वेट. योगा क्यों करना है? योगा 2 साल लेगा वेट रिड्यूस करने में. जिम चले जाते हैं. जिन्हें 6 महीने भी वर्कआउट नहीं करना है, दे विल गो अंडर द नाइफ. इजी है, सर्जरी करवा लो. एंड देन दोज हु डोंट वांट टू गो अंडर द नाइफ, दे विल टेक फैट रिडक्शन पिल्स. But here we are ignoring that these things have their own side effects in a longer run. We are not thinking about our old age. What we are doing is that हमें हमारा ये ideal body image है और हमें ये चाहिए और हमें ये instantly चाहिए. So we have lost that sense of long-term gratification. We are looking for instant rewards. We have lost that sense of long-term gratification. We want instant reward. We want our brain to have that instant dopamine burst. And that's what we want to enjoy. Only pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. आपको यहाँ पे मैं एक एग्जाम्पल दूंगी. इस चीज ने एजुकेशनल सेक्टर को भी नहीं छोड़ा है. अभी सेबी ने अस्मिता पाटिल नाम की एक लेडी को चार्ज किया है विद अ फाइन, विद अ ह्यूज फाइन. यू कैन चेक ऑन इट. What exactly she did? She was selling a course on share market. And the course was expensive to an extent of 8 lakh rupees. But the course offered was only for 3 months. उसमें उन्होंने बोला कि आप ये कोर्स खरीदिए, आप शेयर मार्केट में पैसा लगाइए and you'll be earning a lot of money. And people literally bought that particular course. And they lost all their money. Now here, आदमी पढ़ता है, लोग पढ़ते हैं, मेहनत करते हैं, they get a degree and then they go to share market and then they reach that position. But now we want what? Easy money. So what do? We invest on a course which tells us how to earn easy money within 3 months. And we want to invest all the amount that we have on that particular course. And what is the result? We are not getting anything.
So I believe with this we come to our next set of understanding which we can take from this book. That's abundance. आपको याद होगा पहले हमारे पेरेंट्स लोग हमें समझाते थे कि इतना कमा लो कि 2 रोटी खुद खा लो और अगर पर घर में आए तो वो भी खा ले तुम्हारे थ्रू. So if we compare that thought with the present, आज ओवर एबंडेंट जमाने में भी कोई खुश नहीं है. क्यों खुश नहीं है? क्योंकि उसको एक चीज मिलता है, वो दूसरे के पीछे भागेगा. सो ही इज इन ए कंसिस्टेंट रेस. आपको वो समझ में आएगा. एक रैट रेस अगर आप इमेजिन करते हैं जहाँ पे हर 1 किलोमीटर पे रैट्स के लिए अलग अलग टाइप्स का चीज रखा गया है. 1 किलोमीटर के बाद वो चीज वो एक्सट्रैक्ट करेगा प्लेजर, फिर उसको चाहिए कि थोड़ा बड़ा प्लेजर चाहिए, तो वो दूसरे किलोमीटर पे फिर रुकेगा. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि वो कभी खुश नहीं है. सो इवन दो द ट्रैक इज फिल्ड विथ डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ चीजेस, डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ प्लेजर, बट ही इज अलाइंड इन सच अ मैनर कि वो फंस जा रहा है. वो क्रेविंग उसको फंसा ले रहा है. सो इवन in this age of overabundance, one loses the basic trait of humans, that's humanity. And now one is jealous, one is insecure, and he becomes less empathetic towards others' pain.
Now, Dr. Anna Lemke continuously pressed on something in this book. She continuously said that we need to break this cycle of toxicity. We need to believe in something that I have been there, I have done that, and I am no more up for it. If it means that I have to consume drugs to come to your party, I am not going to do it. If to release that exhaustion, I have to drink a glass of wine, I am not up for it. I would rather have my loved one near me and I remember them when I'm 50 and 51. I do not want to suffer from diseases like Alzheimer because I choose that 1 hour of high or 2 hour of high. I don't want to do that. Recently, there was this conversation I was having with my friend where I asked him, where do you see yourself and your daughter's relationship within the span of maybe 25 years from now? You know what was the answer? And it was shocking. He said that I see myself drinking with my daughter. So now you see, we have moved from an era कि मैं चाहती हूँ मेरी बच्ची प्रोग्रेस करे, मेरा बच्चा प्रोग्रेस करे, वो पढ़े लिखे, अच्छा कमाए, अच्छा खाए, से I want my daughter to be consuming drugs with me. In the name of what? Releasing pressure. Is it that important? Have we really reached here? Again, there is one more example. These days, people say that कि I don't want to overburden my kids with academics. मैं नहीं चाहता हूँ मैं उनके ऊपर प्रेशर डालूं. वो जितना पढ़ रहे हैं ठीक है, खुश रहना काफी होता है. खुश रहना बहुत जरूरी है. That is very much important. बट उनको वो खुशी की फीलिंग कैसे आएगी जब आप उन्हें वो पेन की फीलिंग ही नहीं देना चाहते हैं. And that too for something like academics, which is very important. So, the more you're saving yourself from enduring pain, the more vulnerable you're making yourself. So, जब आपको इतना सा पेन मिलेगा, फीलिंग इतनी होगी. क्योंकि आप पेन का बार बार बाईपास रोड ले रहे हैं. आप डायरेक्ट उसमें जाना ही नहीं चाह रहे हैं. और प्लेजर के लिए you're craving. You want instant pleasures, regular pleasures, and constant stimulation of your brain.
I believe with this example of yours that how students these days are trying to avoid pain and saying that I am getting depressed just because I am studying more and more. We come to our last understanding which we took from this book. That's how you need to endure pain, and that pain is the only element which will free you from the bondage of your own mind. So let me take a reference of Sri Bhagavad Gita. Sahajam karma kaunteya sah dosham api na tvajet. Sarva rambha hi doshena धूमे नग्नीर इवर कहा. आप इमेजिन कीजिए सिचुएशन जहां कृष्ण और अर्जुन का संवाद हो रहा है. कुरुक्षेत्र के युद्ध में अर्जुन किसके खिलाफ खड़े हैं? अपने पितामह, अपने परिजन, अपने परिवार. उनको मारने के पहले कितना कष्ट हो रहा होगा दिमाग के साथ. पर कृष्ण बोलते हैं कि अगर तुम आज ये फील करोगे, आज तुम इस पेन से बाहर नहीं निकलोगे, तो इसी पेन के चक्र में या कष्ट के चक्र में बंधे रह जाओगे. सो टू फ्री फ्रॉम दिस पेन, you need to pass through that pain. So what we can understand is that you endure little bearable pain and you receive naturally generated pleasure. आपको पिल लेके डोपामिन फील करने का जरूरत नहीं है जब आप वॉक करके, जिमिंग करके, पढ़ करके सेम अमाउंट ऑफ प्लेजर ले सकते हैं. And believe me, it will be more durable and more healthy for your body and your mind.
So to end this podcast, I would like to quote Mr. James Allen. He said, man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and it will bring forth. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. So this is your garden. Now the choice is yours. You want to make it a blossoming garden, a dumping ground, or a barren land. It totally depends on your decision, your calculated choice, and your conscious choices.
So with this, at least we have understood that our mind is making our world. So what we sow is what we are going to reap.
Thank you so much for staying tuned with us today. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel. For more videos like this, please like it. Thank you.